Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining. Thanks for all the DMs, all of that cool stuff. I want to speak today about what happens if someone pulls your job offer before you start. And this has been happening a lot. And it's been happening a lot in tech firms, VC backed. A lot of these firms aren't making money. And they're waiting for an event, an IPO, and all of those things. And they get people in with the the LTIP, long-term incentive plan, the prospect of IPOing or selling, making a nice exit, and things like that. But they're not making money, and so they're a bit beholden on the investors. And when the VCs start pulling money or asking where the profit is, then the cash flow becomes a problem. So I've seen that a lot recently, and there's been some high-profile examples where a firm makes an offer one week and pulls the offer the next. Or a friend of mine accepted a job, 3-month notice period. The Friday before they were starting, had a phone call saying, "Hey, look forward to seeing you on Monday, but we can't pay you." Not good either. So there's a lot of that going on. It's hard to know how much, because you hear some stuff, you probably don't hear all of it. But be careful. If you're hiring, cash flow is king. Make sure that you can afford someone. Like, more people doesn't equal more money. And these people's lives, with bills to pay and families to support and all of that stuff. So be responsible, and only hire if you need people and you can afford to keep them. And look, all the reasons are economic conditions, and of course there's external factors. But if it changes so much from one week to another, you've got to think about, do you have a grasp on the numbers? For people looking, and if you're moving right now, and this is so variable. Like, there's many companies that are just hiring like crazy. There's a lot in the news around talent shortage. There are many more jobs than there are people. There's also talk of a slowdown in the global economy. Different countries, their economies are different. I mean, there's so many things going on right now, but there are jobs. And if you're moving now, be careful and do your due diligence. Really think through, why are you moving? Is your career going to be better served where you're moving to than where you are currently? Do your due diligence. Jump online. There's so much available information about companies, the people you're joining. Make sure you do that, and don't just get sucked into the super cool brand name and the branding and the story. Make sure you're asking the tough questions. Ask them, what's your financial position? Ask them how they treated their folks over COVID. I don't know, ask some pertinent questions that is going to give you a good idea and a good sense of where they're at. Because you don't want to end up in a scenario where you got sucked in and you're out the next day. And there's something to be said for working for perceived unsexy industries, but firms that are well capitalized and run well and are going to be around for a while. So this is all a little bit about managing your risk. More risk, potentially more reward, and so forth. So go in with your eyes wide open. Be careful with where you're going to. Choose well. Choose the people you're working with well. You want them to, you want to be in it with people. There's always ups and downs in everything. Life, economy, business is never always good. But you want to work with folks that are going to be there for you. You be there for them, they be there for you. And that's it. That's all you can ask for. So be careful out there when you're interviewing. Do your research, ask questions, and make sure you make the right move for the right reasons. And if you're hiring right now, hire people if you need them and treat them well. Treat them like your best customer, because if you treat them badly, they're going to be out there on Glassdoor or anywhere else they can telling their story. and it's going to make hiring way harder for you. So treat people well. If you treat people well, other things take care of themselves, I think. So yeah, hope that found it useful. Thank you for subscribing, watching, all of that cool stuff, and have a good one.